All right. Y'all ready for a cool little formula? This is called the change of base formula. And we're going to need to do this when calculating logarithms with a base other than 10 or e, because the log key is only used for a base of 10 and the natural log key is only used for a base of e. But what if we've got something pretty ugly to calculate, okay, such as the log of an argument with base b? The change of base formula says you can say it's going to be the log of the argument with a new changed base of a divided by the log of the base b with a new change of base a. Now, since we've got the log button on our calculator and the natural log button on our calculator, we are either going to use the common log or we're going to use the natural log. This would be the log of x with base 10. That would be the a, 10. This is log of b with base 10. All right? Or the log of x with base e for natural log, and the log of b with base e, the natural log of b. Okay, let's see how we use this. Oh, we're going to have to build. We're going to have to build a concept. All right. We're going to see what is the log of the log of 5 with base 8. Okay? We're going to see, okay, what exponent do we use on 8 to give us 5? Okay? Well, let's see. I think, since this is a 5 right here, it's going to be between, for example, 8 to the 0 and 8 to the first. That's where 5 lives. 5 lives between 1 and 8, okay? And so the log of 5 with base 8 is going to be between the exponent of 1 and 0. So somewhere in between 1 and 0 is what we're estimating our logarithm to be, right? Because we're thinking 8 to what power is going to give me 5? Weird, okay? I know 8 to the 0 is 1, and I know 8 to the first is 8, and 5 is in between 1 and 8. So my logarithm is going to be in between 0 and 1. That's what they were wanting us to do on part A. Okay, so we're going to get like a point something as our answer. Okay, so our change of base formula. We're going to calculate the log of 5 with base 8. Okay, it's a matter of choosing if you want to punch the log button on your calculator or the natural log button on your calculator. It doesn't matter. I'll show you both ways. Okay? So the log of 5 with base 8 can be rewritten, remember, as the log of 5 with a new base, let's leave it as understood to be 10, divided by the log of base 8 with the new base 10. Both of these are understood to be 10, okay? But what I've got going on here, I don't really even need to write those, but what I've got going on here is going to tell me how to calculate, find this number between 0 and 1 for my logarithm. I'm going to do the log of 5 divided by the log of 8. Okay? So, back over here on my calculator. I'm going to do the log of 5. Let me make sure and close out that argument, okay? And I'm going to divide that by the log of 8. Change of base formula is what that is. There's that decimal I was thinking we were going to get, 0.77397. Did it say to go to 4 decimal places? If it said to go to 4 decimal places, I'm going to say 0.7740. I don't know. I might have just been making up that 4 decimal places thing. 0.7740. Yeah, okay. So this is about equal to 0.7740. Then on part C, it says check the result by using the related exponential form. All right, we just found that the log of 5 with base 8 is about equal to 0.7740. Now, its related exponential form is base to the that, so I'm going 8 to the 0.7740 power equals 5. I'm going to check that on my calculator. 8 raised to the 0.7740. 8 raised to the, you're not doing raised to the, there you go, raised to the 0.7740. Better give me an answer pretty stinking close to 5. Yep, I'm going to go for that. Because of my rounding, it's not going to be exact. But all right, so we just chose to hit the log button. But I want to show you that if you would have changed the base using a base of e, meaning punch in the natural log of 5 divided by the natural log of 8, we're going to get that same answer. It doesn't matter what base you change it to, a base of 10 or a base of e, we're still going to get that the log of 5 with base 8 is 0.7740 rounded to 4 decimal places. Hooray for the change of base formula. Now you can calculate any logarithm on your calculator as long as you set it up correctly. And also, you can use the change of base formula to graph things like y equals the log of x with base 2. Remember back in the last section, we had to change that to 2 to the y equals x, pick out some values of y and calculate that. Well, now that we know that the log of x with base 2 is the same thing as the log of x divided by the log of 2, or you can say natural log of x, the argument, divided by the natural log of 2, the base. You can use natural log key if you want to. If you program your calculator in like that, either one of those, you will get the graph of y equals the log of x with base 2. Hooray! All right, let's fill out these concept connections and we'll be on our little merry way for today. Number 1, the product property of logarithm states that the log of x times y with base b is equivalent to the log of x with base b added to the log of y with base b. As long as your arguments and everything's all good, okay? You don't have any domain errors or anything like that. The blank property of logarithms states that the log of x divided by y, y'all, that's a quotient. So this is going to be the quotient property of logarithms. How do we work that? Well, it is the log of x with base b, and then it's a minus right there. Log of y with base b. Power property. Power property says if we've got the log of x to the p power with base b, that's the same thing as that p power multiplied by the log of x with base b. You can bring the p power down front of your log. The change of base formula says that the log of x with base b can be rewritten as a base of a okay, as the log of the argument x with base a, new base a, over, y'all now have to put the log of b with base a. Argument on top, base on bottom. And usually we'll say, okay, that's either going to be just log of x over log of b. That is if the base of a is 10. Or you can say natural log of x divided by the natural log of b. And that is if the a is e. The a is e. All right, the change of base formula is often used to convert a logarithm to a ratio of logarithms with base, we just talked about that, 10 or base e, so that we can use our calculator buttons. All right?